And I called it. I called it. I called it. I called it. Let's go, baby. So, as I've been saying over the last month or so, and since the draft pretty much, we're going to be playing Shedeur Sanders week 1. It's not going to be Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is the logical point of view. Joe Flacco is the guy you would probably want to go with week 1 versus the Bengals. But, just like I said, Shedeur Sanders was going to have a really good preseason. First week, he just played against the Panthers. Panthers are already a bad team, one of the worst teams in the league. Then you got it taking into account, he didn't score to the second quarter, which is against their second and third string guys. They're already not a good team, but he put up a clinic against a really bad team. 14 for 23, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Now, I'm not sitting here to say Shedeur Sanders is a bad quarterback. No. I think Shedeur Sanders will be a good quarterback in the league. But this is exactly what I was talking about, is he's going to light it up in the preseason. He's going to be the hype. He's going to be the talk of the town. Everyone's going to want to talk about Shedeur Sanders. He came out last night to he had his own little clique. He had his own little, mob, whatever. He had music playing. He had his camera crew. He had all this stuff coming out of the tunnel last night. I knew this was all going to happen because this is how it works. He is going to, the next 2 preseason games, he's going to have really good preseason games. He's going to look amazing. The Browns are going to start in week 1 because there's going to be all this hype, all this talk, all this crazy, stuff going on about him, saying that he is the best quarterback of all time. He is going to win a Hall of Famer. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer. He's going to win Super Bowls. And the Browns are going to fall for it. And they're going to put him in week 1. And they're going to start him. And even though Joe Flacco is the better option, and yes, they should start Joe Flacco, and many franchises would start Joe Flacco week 1, the Brownies are not that franchise. Okay? Jimmy Haslam is going to crush under pressure here. Now, keep in mind, Jimmy Haslam recently came out and said he was not the one who wanted Shedeur Sanders. And it was all on Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry was the one who drafted him. There was no interest by Haslam, the owner, for Shedeur Sanders. But it doesn't matter. This is how their organization works. This is how their team is run. This is how the Brownies we always say in the end, the Brownies will be the Brownies, because this is just kind of how it works. So we have someone here who said he reads blitzes like a veteran, slipped out of pressure like a magician, and even picked up 3 first downs on the ground himself. He played the worst team in football, and he didn't even score on their number 1s. He scored on their number 2s. Everything they claim in the draft, can't handle the speed, won't read defenses, not ready for the pros, and yeah, about that. Against their number 1s to start the game, he tried to outrun their defense, ran around twice, and then almost got sacked for a loss of 15 yards. He threw it away in the end. He did not handle the speed very well there against a very bad defense. Shedeur didn't display. My guy announced himself, and this is just a warm-up. Better set alarms. It's only a matter of time. Again, listen, and then this obviously was posted only a matter of time by the Cleveland Brownies. This is not a hate towards Shedeur Sanders. I think Shedeur Sanders will be a good quarterback in the NFL. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. This was going to happen no matter what. And this is going to be a situation where week 1 comes around and everyone is going crazy. Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback of all time. It's smarter to start Joe Flacco. But the Brownies will be the Brownies. And this is the definition of being the Brownies. They're going to start Shedeur Sanders versus us week 1. We're going to be playing Shedeur Sanders. Now, obviously, again, either quarterback's going to be tough with how our defense looked in preseason. Oh, wait. It's preseason! It's preseason. It really is preseason at the end of the day. And I know I went crazy during the live stream during it because I never want to see my Bengals lose. I always want to see us win. But at the end of the day, it is preseason. And this is just going to be how it ends up working out. It's going to be a crazy necessity of preseason defines how good this player is. Preseason shows that he is the quarterback one of the future. He is the best quarterback of all time. You throw him out there week one, and let's say our defense does show how good they are under Al Golden with having some guys. Yeah, we could absolutely kill his confidence. Maybe, if we can play some good defense. But it's just, I just knew this was going to happen. Because this is how the NFL, I feel like, is nowadays. It's not based on how good you are. It's based on the hype of you. How much hype are you generating? Yes, there is the level of also skill. Don't get me wrong. But it's also the hype. Are you popular? I always say the MVP award is just a popularity contest. Lamar Jackson won the MVP twice. Popularity contest. That's how I always see that award. It's not based on... Because Joe Burrow, by the way, should have won it last year. Josh Allen won it. Popularity contest. It's all about the hype around you. But again, like I said, I'm not trying to say Shedeur is not going to be a good player. But he's going to get so much hype over the next 2 weeks. And it's going to be, or next month, and it's going to be hilarious because this is exactly what, I thought would happen. So he plays the Eagles next, and then he plays the Rams. The Eagles are not starting any of the starters in preseason. So he's going to absolutely light up the Eagles. And then the Rams, that might be interesting, but it is the Browns' first home opener in the preseason. So he probably will have a good game in there too. But yeah, this is just kind of how it is. And again, like I said, I think personally speaking, the best course of action for the Brownies here, start Joe Flacco week one, play him, let him go out there against the Bengals defense. He's a veteran. Let Shedeur sit behind Joe Flacco, watch him, learn, develop, get better, and then have a really good season once he's ready to become the starter. But that's not how the Brownies are going to work. The Brownies are going to be the Brownies, and they're going to throw him in week one versus us. And, against us, he might actually look pretty decent, okay? Because, again, like I said, our defense might not be the greatest. Let's be honest. If he looks good against us, whatever. Then he plays the Ravens. And their defense is one of the best in the league. Then he plays the Packers. Then he plays the Lions. Then he plays the Vikings. Then the Steelers. By October 19th against the Dolphins, if he had any confidence left in him, it's going to be shot. He has a very tough beginning of the schedule if they decide to start him. And again, I fully believe they will. I think they're going to cave in to the fans' pressure and the hype, and they're going to start him, and this is going to be the typical Cleveland Brownies. That's what I think. Would I rather play Shedeur Sanders or Joe Flacco? Honestly, at this point, I don't even know what the answer to that question is. Because, I would say Shedeur, but we suck versus rookies. But it's also the fact that, our defense, I don't know. I guess I would go with Joe because Joe is not as mobile, or he's almost immobile to a certain degree. And Shedeur is mobile, and we also struggle versus mobile quarterbacks because once they get out of the pocket, our lack of pass rush usually kind of breaks down even more. But yeah, no. This was going to happen.